Let's take a look at this problem. Got f of x is equal to cube root of x squared minus 4. Now, first thing we're going to do is get rid of the radical. So we're going to write it in fractional power form, rational exponents. The cube root is the 1/3 power. Okay, so now we want to find our derivative. Now we have parentheses to a power, chain rule, specifically a general power rule. We're going to take our power, which is the 1/3, put it out in front. What's inside the parentheses remains as is. Lower our power by 1. So we'll take 1/3 minus 1 times the derivative of what's inside the parentheses. Okay, so that gives us 1/3 x squared minus 4. There we go. 1/3 minus 1 gives us negative 2/3. The derivative of x squared minus 4 is 2x. Well, we merge this all into a single fraction, so 2x goes up on top, 3 is down below. This part of the negative exponent I take down to the denominator, and it becomes x squared minus 4 to the positive 2/3. Okay. Now that's our derivative. We want to find our critical values. So I'm going to set the top part equal to 0, so I'll set 2x equal to 0, and I'll set the bottom part equal to 0. 3 times x squared minus 4 to the 2/3 power is equal to 0. Now over on this side, we'll divide both sides by 2, and we get x is equal to 0. Now in this one here, whenever you have a parentheses to a power and a number out in front equal to 0, you can drop your power, drop the number out in front, and just set what's underneath your, inside your parentheses equal to 0. So I got x squared minus 4 equal to 0. Now I'm going to take the negative 4 to the right side, and it becomes a positive 4. Square root property. If you got something squared equals something else, you drop the squared, and you put a plus or minus square root on the other side. And square root of 4 is 2. So our smallest one is negative 2. Clear over here is negative infinity. Then we got 0. Then we got positive 2. And then clear over here is positive infinity. Now we want to choose test cases. I want to choose something between negative infinity and negative 2, like negative 3. I want to choose something between negative 2 and 0, like negative 1. I want to choose something between 0 and 2, like 1. And I want to choose something greater than 2, like 3 or 4. Now I want to plug those into my my derivative. Key is, if you got a fraction, you got more than a single variable, single number on top or bottom, put parentheses on it. So we need parentheses on the top part, we need parentheses on the bottom part. Now if you have a exponent and you have more than a single number or single variable there, you have to put parentheses on it. So we'll have to put parentheses on 2/3 when we plug it in. So let's see how to plug that in. Press my y equal, whoops. Press my y equals, clear. Then beginning parentheses, 2x, closing parentheses, divided by beginning parentheses, 3, beginning parentheses, x squared minus 4, closing parentheses, caret, and we want 2/3 power, then we'll put parentheses around it. So we'll do a beginning parentheses, 2 divided by 3. You can put closing parentheses at the very end, but it doesn't require it. I won't do it. Now you want to make sure your table's set up correctly, so you do second window to go in table setup, and you want your independent say ask. If it doesn't say ask, down arrow to that line, right arrow, put your flashing cursor in the ask, and press enter one time. Then we'll do second graph to go in table. I'm going to press delete to clean out what I have there. And we want negative 3, enter, negative 1, enter, 1, enter, 3, enter. Okay, negative 3 gives us a negative value, so that's decreasing. Negative 1 gives us a negative value, so that's decreasing. Positive 1 gives us a positive value, so that's increasing. And 3 gives us a positive value, so that's increasing. So our extrema occurs when the increasing decreasing changes. So this is decreasing and changes to increasing. So this is going to be a min. We got 0, comma something. Now we want to plug that back into our original function. So plug it back in up here. So cube root of x squared minus 4. Okay, so I got x equals 0, and y is equal to cube root of x squared minus 4. Now if I put 0 in there, we'll have the cube root of 0 squared minus 4. 0 squared drops away. You got a negative inside. You can take negative outside of the radical. That only occurs when your index is odd. So we got negative cube root of 4. So this would be negative cube root of 4, and that would be our min.